Assalamu alaikum dear students, and a very good morning to all of you. Hope all of you are doing well. So kids, welcome to the class again. As you all know, I am your social studies teacher and my name is Nida Sahar. So students, today we are going to start our new chapter, Money and Banks. In today's lecture, I am going to discuss one part of the chapter, and the main points that we are going to discuss in this chapter include barter system, trade, who are producers and who are consumers. We are also going to talk about the invention of money and the invention of paper money. So let's begin. Okay students, this is the page from your book. This is page 48. Money and banks. Many thousands of years ago there was no money. People did not use coins. So kids, do you ever wonder how they used to buy things? Let's see. When they wanted something, they gave something else in exchange. For example, a man could exchange some chickens for a goat or a sheep. Useful things had a greater value. People who owned land were also rich because they had crops and animals which were something of value to exchange. This system of exchanging goods was known as barter. Okay? The system of exchanging goods was known as barter. So kids, what is a barter system? A barter system is an old method of exchange. It is an old method of exchange. This system has been used for centuries and long before money was invented. People exchanged their services and goods for other services and goods in return. For example, if this person wants to buy any fruit like bananas, he would exchange anything like books, lamp, meat, anything in return with bananas. He would give one of his goods to this woman and in return he will get those bananas. This system of exchanging goods is known as barter system. So what is a barter system? It is an old method of exchanging goods or things and services. Clear? Okay kids, before getting into further details, let's watch a video about the barter system.
Barter system. In trade, barter is a system of exchange where participants in a transaction directly exchange goods or services for other goods or services without using a medium of exchange such as money. Why don't we use barter system today? Barter is the most basic form of trade, where a person exchanges his or her goods with other person's goods. But in this system, the value of one thing can be more or less compared to others. In such cases, the trade is not fair, and the people holding the goods are not satisfied with the value they receive after the trade. How was the value problem solved? Value problem was solved by creating an imaginary value which can be compared and exchanged with any item for the purpose of trade. Earlier people used animal skin, jewelry made out of rocks, animal bones marked with signs, and weapons to be exchanged as currency. How metal became currency? As the civilizations evolved, The most valuable thing available to make the currency was metal: gold, silver, diamonds, and platinum. These valuable metals were recognized as precious throughout the world and made way for long-distance trade and modern monetary system that uses fiat paper currency.
Okay, now again on page 48, barter was also done in exchange for work. As I have mentioned earlier, that exchange of goods or even services means barter system. Barter was also done in exchange for work. A landlord hired workers. And what do he give them as payment? As a payment for their work, they were given grain and vegetables. The workers could then exchange the grain for other goods. If a worker needed a new pair of sandals, for example, he would pay the cobbler with some chickens, right? So he is exchanging some of his goods with the cobbler, and in return he is getting new pair of sandals. This system is known as barter system, right? This is how business was done long ago. However, doing business in this way was sometimes difficult. Okay, now on page 49. In the 7th century BCE, BCE stands for Before Common Era, the Lydians, people from Lydia, a country near Greece, invented money. So students, who invented the money? The Lydians, the people from Lydia, that is a country near Greece, invented money. The Lydians had plenty of gold, but because gold was quite rare, it had great value. Traders began to use pieces of gold as money. Today we use the word trade to describe buying and selling goods and services. The people and business that make goods are called the producers, and the people and businesses that buy and use goods are called consumers. So kids, when and where was money first used? Historians believe metal objects were first used as money. Around 700 BC, the Lydians became the first Western culture to make coins out of those metals. Other countries and civilizations soon began to mint their own coins with their specific values. So in the 7th century BCE, the Lydians, and they were the people from the Lydia, which is the country near Greece, invented money, right? Kids, as we are talking about the first money that had been invented by the Lydians, later on coins were produced in silver, copper, bronze and other metals. The coins had pictures and writing on them to show where they came from, or the image or the name of the ruler of that time. These coins had a high value, as here you can see, this is the picture from your book. Here you can see some examples of some early coins and money, right? So these are the old coins that had been used by the people of that time, and they have image or the name of the ruler of that time, and these coins had high value, right? So kids, here is the new term for you, trade. Now I am going to tell you the difference between the barter system and the modern day trade. As you all know that in old times goods were exchanged with one another depending on what you needed and what you could give in return. Barter system includes the exchange of goods, right? Now what is trade? In modern times, trade is transfer of goods or services, usually in exchange of money, right? Modern day trade is the transfer of goods or services, usually in exchange for money, right? So students, in earlier times, people and traders began to use pieces of metals like gold and silver as money. Today we use the word trade to describe buying and selling goods and services. So kids, in trading there are two terms that are usually used: producers and consumers. Let's see what does they mean. What do they mean? Producer. A producer is a person or business that makes goods or provides services. Who is a producer? The people and businesses that makes goods are called producers. They are producing goods. And who are consumers? A consumer is a person or a business that buys or uses goods or services. Who are consumers? The people and businesses that buy and use goods are called consumers. For example, if you want to buy a cupcake, chocolate, or an ice cream, who are you? You are going to pay the shopkeeper, and in return you will get that cupcake or an ice cream. Are you a producer or are you a consumer? You are a consumer because you are buying that good from that producer, right? Is that clear? Okay kids, now on page 50. Much later, because coins were heavy and not easy to carry around, paper money was invented. And who invented the paper money first? The Chinese were the first people to print and use paper money from 600 CE onwards. Banknotes, as paper money is known, are printed by the government. So people can be sure that they are worth the sum printed on them. Today, the government of each country produces its own notes and coins. This money is called currency. Here you can see some of the notes, paper money that has been printed by the government of Pakistan, and here you can see some coins. The money, the government of each country produces its own coins and notes. This money is called the currency of that particular country. So kids, who invented the first paper money? Paper currency first developed in Tang Dynasty in China during the 7th century. Although true paper money did not appear until the 11th century. Here you can see that note that had been printed by the Chinese. That's how it looks like. So kids, who invented the first paper money? The Chinese were the first people to print and use paper money, right? Okay students, now it's your turn. You have to read the chapter thoroughly from page 48 till 50, and you have to underline the main points that I have highlighted. And I'm sure after watching this video you would be able to tell what does barter mean, where and when was first money used. Can you define producers and consumers? Who invented the paper money? And what is currency? So kids, that is all for the today's lecture. In the next lecture, I am going to discuss the remaining part of the chapter. Till then, all of you, stay home, stay safe, and study hard. Take care and Allah Hafiz.